Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, where did my youth go? You notice the changes in your hair, your skin, and maybe even the way you carry yourself, and wonder if you're still as good-looking as you used to be. Well, let me tell you something. Being a good-looking older man isn't about trying to look younger. It's about embracing who you are now, and seeing the beauty in that. Today, we're talking about 8 signs you're a good-looking older man, even if you don't think so. Now I know some of you may be thinking, I'm not a model anymore, or I've got a few more wrinkles than I'd like. But let me tell you, there's a lot more to being attractive at this age than what you see on the surface. Stick around till the end of this video, because I'm going to share some traits that make you look better than you probably think. Before we begin, if this sounds like the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for golden aging and turn on notifications so you never miss our tips on living fully at every age. Your support truly helps us reach more people looking to make their golden years healthier and happier. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Point 1. You've got a strong, solid presence. As we age, one of the most striking changes in our appearance is the development of a strong, solid presence. This isn't about being the tallest or the most physically imposing person in the room. It's about the way you carry yourself. It's the quiet confidence that comes with experience, the steady manner with which you move through life. You've likely heard it before, you've got a great presence, and if you're being honest, you probably don't even realize it. But after 70, it's something that stands out more than ever. People notice how you hold yourself, how you speak, and how you engage with others. And that presence is incredibly attractive. When you were younger, you might have relied on physical attributes to make an impression. Maybe you were taller, more muscular, or had the kind of youthful energy that caught the eye of others. But as we grow older, those external attributes fade, and what's left is something far more powerful, a strong, solid presence. This presence comes from within, and it's built over the years through the experiences you've lived and the wisdom you've gained. Think about it. How many times have you met someone who didn't have the loudest voice, but somehow, when they spoke, everyone listened? That's presence. It's the way they walk into a room with purpose, without needing to demand attention, and yet, all eyes are drawn to them. You don't need to shout or call attention to yourself. Your presence does the work for you. People feel it before they even hear you speak. It's a calm, self-assured energy that draws people in and makes them want to be around you. By the time we reach our 70s, we've been through a lifetime of challenges and victories. We've seen highs and lows, and each experience has shaped us into the person we are today. This history of living fully and enduring hardships gives us a quiet, unshakable confidence. It's not brash or boastful, it's steady. You've learned to trust yourself, and that trust shines through in the way you present yourself to others. I remember a few years ago when I went to a reunion of old friends. There were many familiar faces, but there was something about the way I was interacting with everyone that seemed different. Someone pulled me aside and said, "You've changed, but in a good way. You've got this calm about you that makes everyone feel comfortable." That kind of feedback doesn't come from looking young or being the center of attention. It comes from living a life with intention and growing into the person you're meant to be. The way you carry yourself plays a huge role in your presence. Good posture, standing tall with your shoulders back and your head held high, instantly makes you appear more confident and approachable. Even if you don't realize it, how you hold yourself can change the way others perceive you. But it's more than just posture, it's also about how you move through the world. At 70 or older, you've probably noticed that you move a little slower, and that's okay. But the way you move, whether it's a deliberate, measured pace or the way you stop to interact with people, adds to your presence. When you're not in a rush, people notice it. You seem more grounded, more at peace with yourself, and it's this stillness that draws others in. They want to be around that calm energy, that sense of knowing who you are and where you stand. One of the most liberating things about growing older is realizing that you no longer need to be perfect. Your presence isn't diminished by imperfections, it's amplified by them. The lines on your face, the gray in your hair, the small changes in your body, these aren't things to hide. They are the marks of a life lived fully. They tell a story, and that story adds to your presence. For example, as I've gotten older, I've learned to embrace my wrinkles. Sure, they're there, but they carry the memories of all the years spent laughing, crying, and living. My children and grandchildren love to point out the wisdom lines around my eyes, and it's become something I'm proud of. I've lived, I've loved, and my presence reflects all of that. And that's the beauty of aging. When you stop trying to look perfect, you start radiating the authentic presence that makes you truly attractive. In our younger years, we might have felt the need to fill every silence with words. But as we grow older, we realize that silence holds its own power. A strong presence often comes from the ability to be comfortable in silence. Not feeling the need to speak all the time, but instead, just being in the moment. This is something that naturally develops with age, the ability to sit quietly and still, letting your presence fill the space without saying a word. This ability to exist peacefully in silence is incredibly attractive. It shows maturity and emotional depth. When you can sit in silence with others and feel no need to fill the space, it's a sign that you are fully present and in tune with what's happening around you. It's a trait that younger generations may admire, and it's something that you possess in spades. Your strong, solid presence isn't something you've had to work for. It's a natural byproduct of the life you've lived. It's the confidence you've built over time, the wisdom you've gained from your experiences, and the steady way you carry yourself. This kind of presence isn't flashy, but it is magnetic. You don't need to chase attention because it follows you naturally. The calm energy you radiate, your unwavering confidence, and the way you make others feel comfortable just by being you, this is what makes you truly attractive. So, next time someone tells you that you have a strong presence, don't brush it off. Take it as a compliment because it's a reflection of everything you've become. And remember, that presence only grows more powerful with time. Point 2. You're comfortable in your own skin. As we age, we come to realize that one of the greatest gifts is the ability to be comfortable in our own skin. This doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of a lifetime of experiences, self-discovery, and the wisdom that comes with living through many different seasons of life. As an older man, being comfortable with who you are is a powerful, attractive quality that only grows stronger with time. It's this kind of self-assurance and acceptance that sets you apart and makes you more appealing, even if you don't think so. When we're younger, many of us are focused on fitting in or meeting certain standards, whether it's how we look, how we behave, or how we are perceived by others. Society often places unrealistic expectations on us, especially when it comes to physical appearance. But as we age, these pressures start to fade. We begin to realize that it's not about conforming to external ideals. It's about embracing who we are, flaws and all. As a man in your 70s, you've likely stopped caring about chasing the latest trends or comparing yourself to others. There's a certain freedom in that, a freedom that allows you to focus on the things that truly matter. Whether it's your hobbies, your relationships, or your passions, you start investing your energy in things that bring you joy, rather than worrying about how others perceive you. That comfort in your own skin comes from recognizing that you don't have to be anyone else but yourself, and that's incredibly attractive. One of the most profound changes that comes with age is the ability to accept yourself. Over the years, you've seen the changes in your body, gray hair, wrinkles, maybe a few more aches and pains than before. But instead of feeling insecure about these changes, you've learned to embrace them. You've realized that these marks aren't signs of decline. They are proof of a life well lived. I remember when I first started noticing the lines on my face. I'll admit, I wasn't too happy about it at first. But then I realized that each line had a story behind it, moments of laughter, of struggle, and of joy. Those wrinkles are like badges of honor, not things to hide or be ashamed of. Over time, I grew comfortable with the way I looked, and I began to appreciate how these changes reflected the experiences that shaped me into the person I am today. As we grow older, the idea of being comfortable in our bodies takes on new meaning. It's not just about looking good or feeling fit, it's about feeling at ease in your own skin, regardless of how it looks. For instance, when I was younger, I might have obsessed over staying in peak physical shape. But now, I've learned to appreciate how good it feels just to be healthy and able to do the things I love, whether it's gardening, taking walks, or spending time with family. Comfort comes from within, from feeling strong and capable, not necessarily from meeting an external standard of beauty or youthfulness. You may notice that you're more selective about the clothing you wear now. It's not about following the latest trends or trying to look younger. It's about choosing clothes that make you feel good and comfortable. Wearing clothes that fit well and suit your style makes a world of difference in how you present yourself and how you feel. That quiet confidence in your appearance, regardless of whether you fit the traditional mold of handsome, is part of what makes you so appealing to others. One of the biggest hurdles to being comfortable in your own skin when you're younger is the constant comparison to others. We look at younger people and think, I wish I could look like that again, or we compare our accomplishments to those of others. But as we age, we realize that comparison is futile. What matters is living authentically, in a way that aligns with your values and desires. In my younger years, I used to fret about how I measured up to my peers. But now, I've learned that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to life. We all have different paths, different stories, and different successes. The freedom that comes with age is realizing that your value doesn't depend on what others are doing. It depends on how you live, how you treat others, and how you embrace who you are. Being comfortable in your own skin also means learning to live in the present. Aging brings a natural shift toward reflection, but it also helps us focus on the here and now. We stop focusing on past regrets or future worries and start appreciating the present moment. That peace, that ability to be in the moment, is incredibly attractive. It shows you have a sense of serenity and self-assurance that younger people often lack. Whether it's savoring a quiet cup of coffee in the morning, enjoying the sound of birds outside, or having a meaningful conversation with a loved one, living in the present allows you to appreciate life in its fullness. And this ability to be present, to really take in what's around you, makes you magnetic to others. As we grow older, we also develop a deeper sense of self-worth in our relationships. We no longer seek validation from others as we might have when we were younger. Instead, we focus on building strong, meaningful connections. Being comfortable in your own skin allows you to approach relationships with authenticity. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're simply showing up as your true self. That's a beautiful thing in any relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or a romantic partner. When you can be yourself without fear of judgment, you create space for real, fulfilling connections that bring joy and comfort. This emotional comfort is contagious. It makes others feel safe and loved, which in turn makes you even more appealing. Being comfortable in your own skin is one of the most powerful signs of an attractive older man. It's not about trying to look younger or meeting external expectations. It's about embracing who you are and feeling good in your own body and mind. That kind of self-assurance is magnetic, and it only becomes stronger as you age. As you embrace your experiences, your imperfections, and your unique qualities, you'll find that you not only look better, but you feel better too. And let me tell you, there's nothing more attractive than a man who's comfortable in his own skin. Point 3. You've got patience and understanding. As we age, one of the most significant qualities we develop is patience. It's a trait that often grows as we experience more of life's challenges, successes, and everything in between. By the time we reach our 70s or beyond, we've learned to weather storms, reflect on our experiences, and appreciate that not everything can be rushed. Patience and understanding are attractive qualities at any age, but as an older man, they become a quiet, powerful charm that can make you deeply appealing. When we're younger, we tend to rush through life, eager to achieve goals, meet milestones, and check items off our list. But with age comes the understanding that good things take time. We've learned that life doesn't always unfold the way we expect, and that's okay. The patience we develop over time allows us to take a step back and appreciate life as it comes, rather than trying to force things into place. For example, I remember when my children were growing up, I was always in a hurry, pushing them to be more responsible, more independent. But now, I realize that there's beauty in slowing down, enjoying the process, and allowing things to unfold naturally. When you're patient, you give others the space to grow at their own pace, and you build stronger, more trusting relationships. Patience is directly tied to understanding. As we age, We've had enough life experience to realize that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own struggles and triumphs. We understand that not everyone processes things the same way, and that's where patience becomes such a valuable quality. Being patient with others means offering them the time and space to express themselves, without rushing or interrupting. It means listening more and judging less, and offering advice only when it's needed. I've learned to be patient with my grandchildren, understanding that they see the world differently than I do. Instead of pushing them to understand things my way, I allow them to express themselves, and I listen carefully. By doing so, we create a deeper connection. When you're patient with others, they feel valued and heard, which is one of the most attractive things you can do. In romantic relationships, patience is especially important. Over the years, I've come to realize that no relationship is without its challenges, and that's okay. The key is learning how to navigate those challenges with understanding and patience, rather than frustration. The patience we develop with age helps us see things from our partner's perspective and supports us in giving them the space to be themselves, flaws and all. I remember when my wife and I went through a particularly tough time, and instead of reacting with impatience, I chose to listen to her concerns and understand where she was coming from. That patience and compassion helped us work through the issue together. It's in these moments of deep understanding that relationships are strengthened, and they become even more rewarding. Patience also plays a vital role in our own personal growth. As we age, we begin to understand that growth is not a destination but a continuous process. We don't expect instant results or immediate gratification. We accept that some changes take time, and that's part of the journey. This allows us to be kinder to ourselves, to acknowledge our progress without being harsh or critical, and to celebrate the small victories along the way. In my own life, I've learned that not every goal is achieved overnight. It takes time and effort, and often, it's the patience to stay consistent that makes the biggest difference. I've learned to accept setbacks as part of the learning process rather than something to be frustrated with. This mindset shift has not only helped me achieve personal goals, but it has also made me a more patient and understanding person overall. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the ability to appreciate the present moment. With patience, we learn to slow down and savor life as it is, rather than always striving for the next thing. We begin to enjoy the simple pleasures, spending time with family, watching a sunset, enjoying a good meal, and realize that these moments are just as important as any achievement or goal. I've come to cherish the quiet moments in life. Whether it's sitting in the garden with a cup of coffee, chatting with my grandchildren, or simply watching the world go by, I've learned that patience allows me to fully enjoy these experiences without rushing through them. This ability to live in the moment, without constantly looking ahead, makes life more fulfilling and meaningful. Another benefit of patience is the growth of emotional intelligence. By learning to be patient, we become better at reading the emotions of others and responding in ways that are helpful and supportive. Emotional intelligence is all about being aware of how we, and those around us, feel, and knowing how to navigate those emotions with empathy and care. As we age, we become better at handling our emotions, knowing when to speak and when to listen, and understanding how to approach difficult situations without becoming overwhelmed. I've found that, in my relationships, I'm much more attuned to the emotional needs of others than I was when I was younger. Whether it's sensing when a friend needs support or noticing when my children are going through a tough time, I can approach those situations with patience and empathy, knowing that my understanding will be more helpful than offering a rushed or impatient response. Patience and understanding are two of the most attractive qualities an older man can possess. They come from a lifetime of experiences, and they allow us to approach life with grace, wisdom, and empathy. When you are patient with others and with yourself, it shows a deep emotional intelligence and a calming presence that draws people in. These qualities make you not only more attractive but also more enjoyable to be around, as they create a space where others feel heard, valued, and understood. By embracing patience and understanding, you enrich your own life and the lives of those around you, and that's something that only grows more valuable with age. If you're still with me and you think this is hitting home, drop a 2 in the comments below. Let's hear from those who know the power of being patient and understanding. Point 4. You've got a kindness about you. One of the most enduring and attractive qualities of an older man is kindness. As we age, the priorities in life often shift. We begin to realize that kindness is not only essential for meaningful relationships, but it's also the foundation for living a fulfilling and happy life. Having a kind spirit isn't just about doing nice things for others. It's about how you show up in the world every day, offering empathy, compassion, and understanding. If people often comment on how gentle, considerate, or thoughtful you are, it's a sign that you've tapped into one of the most compelling aspects of what makes you a good-looking man, your kindness. Kindness often gets mistaken for weakness, especially in a world that sometimes values assertiveness and competitiveness above all. However, kindness is one of the strongest and most enduring traits a person can possess. It takes strength to consistently choose kindness, to put others' needs ahead of your own, and to approach life with a gentle heart. When we're younger, we might be more focused on making our mark, proving ourselves, or looking out for number one. But as we grow older, we realize that true strength comes from how we treat others. By the time we hit our 70s, we've had the chance to reflect on the power of kindness, and the impact it can have on our relationships, our communities, and ourselves. In fact, kindness is often a mark of wisdom because it shows that we understand what truly matters: connection, compassion, and the value of making the world a little brighter for those around us. You might not even realize it, but many of the kind things you do every day are noticed. It could be something as simple as holding the door open for someone, giving up your seat for a stranger, or offering a sincere compliment to a friend or family member. It's these small gestures of kindness that reveal the beauty within. They show that you're not just going through the motions of life, you're fully engaged in making the world a better place for those around you. I remember one day at the grocery store, I helped an elderly woman pick up some cans she had dropped. She looked at me, smiled, and said, "You're so kind, thank you." I hadn't done anything extraordinary, but her words stuck with me. Kindness doesn't have to be grand or showy. It's the simple things that make a lasting impression. One of the best ways kindness manifests is in the way we show up for the people around us. In our older years, many of us have developed the ability to truly be present for others. Whether it's listening to someone vent about their day, offering advice from your life experience, or simply being there to offer comfort, your presence is a gift. This deep, attentive listening and offering of comfort creates a connection that makes others feel supported and understood. This is a sign of kindness that resonates far beyond words. People appreciate when you take the time to listen without judgment, to offer empathy, and to provide a steady shoulder when they need it. It's that quality of being truly there for others that makes you not just an attractive person to be around, but someone they deeply trust and rely on. And trust me, this level of emotional support becomes even more valuable as you get older because it's rare to find someone who offers both compassion and wisdom in equal measure. Kindness is often expressed through the warmth you offer to those around you. A gentle touch, a kind word, or a comforting embrace can go a long way in brightening someone's day. At an age when many of us have experienced loss, hardship, and joy, we recognize how much warmth matters. We've learned the power of kindness in both big and small moments. For example, I've noticed that my grandkids are more likely to come to me for advice or comfort because they know I'll offer them kindness, not criticism. Whether they need guidance on a school project or just a word of reassurance, they trust me because of the gentle spirit I bring into their lives. It's something that builds over time, a kindness that creates lasting bonds. One common misconception about kindness is that it means always saying yes or putting others before yourself at the expense of your own well-being. But as we grow older, we realize that true kindness isn't about being a doormat. It's about understanding boundaries and knowing when to say no. It's about recognizing the importance of self-care while still offering support to others. The ability to balance kindness with self-respect is something that comes with age and experience. When you're able to offer kindness without compromising your own needs, it not only strengthens your relationships but also increases your own well-being. You learn to be kind to yourself as well, which ultimately makes you a more effective and compassionate person in all your interactions. Here's the most beautiful thing about kindness: it's contagious. A single act of kindness can inspire others to pay it forward, creating a ripple effect that spreads throughout your community. This is especially true for older men, who often hold positions of influence within their families or social circles. When you set the example of treating others with respect and kindness, you lead by example. Your actions inspire younger generations to embody the same values. I've found that when I go out of my way to show kindness, whether it's by helping someone or offering a kind word, it often inspires those around me to do the same. And that makes me feel good, knowing that kindness is making the world a better place, one small act at a time. Having a kind heart is one of the most attractive qualities an older man can have. Kindness is not only a reflection of your character, but it also creates positive, lasting impressions on the people you interact with. It's a timeless trait that continues to grow with age, and it's what makes you stand out in ways that physical appearance alone can't match. In a world that often seems fast-paced and harsh, your kindness is a beacon of warmth and compassion. So, continue being kind, whether it's through a thoughtful gesture, a kind word, or just being present for someone in need. The world, and those around you, will notice and appreciate it more than you know. Point 5. You have a great sense of humor. A great sense of humor is an incredibly attractive quality, especially as we grow older. It's not about cracking jokes all the time or being the life of the party. It's about having the ability to laugh at life, find joy in small moments, and make others smile, even in difficult situations. Humor is a reflection of how we've learned to cope with the ups and downs of life and how we choose to approach the world. For older men, having a great sense of humor can be one of the most enduring aspects of attractiveness, and it only gets better with age. By the time we reach our 70s or beyond, we've accumulated a lifetime of experiences. We've faced challenges, dealt with loss, celebrated triumphs, and weathered the storms of life. One of the greatest lessons we learn along the way is that not everything needs to be taken seriously. Humor allows us to step back and gain perspective, often helping us navigate tough times with grace. It's not about avoiding the seriousness of life, but about embracing it with a sense of lightness that reflects wisdom. When I was younger, I used to get worked up about the smallest things, whether it was a project at work or a disagreement with a friend. But as I got older, I realized that many of those worries didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Life is short, and laughter is one of the simplest and most healing ways to deal with stress. Humor helps put things into perspective, and that is a wisdom that younger people often haven't learned yet. A good sense of humor immediately makes you more approachable. People are drawn to those who can make them laugh, who can lighten the mood, and who don't take themselves too seriously. As we age, we realize that the best connections are often formed in the simplest moments, like sharing a laugh with a stranger or telling a funny story that everyone can relate to. I remember being at a family gathering not long ago, and my nephew was talking about how difficult it was to keep up with technology. I chimed in with, "Well, I still remember when a long-distance call meant your phone bill was going to be bigger than your rent." Everyone burst out laughing, and just like that, we were all connected by a moment of shared humor. It's those moments of lightness that bring people closer together and make us more attractive to others. One of the best benefits of having a great sense of humor is that it keeps you young at heart. Laughter is a natural way to reduce stress and increase feelings of happiness. It releases endorphins, which are the body's natural feel-good chemicals. As we get older, we can sometimes feel the weight of our responsibilities, our health concerns, and the changes that come with age. But a good laugh reminds us that there's still joy to be found in the world. It helps us maintain an optimistic outlook and keeps us feeling young, even when our bodies may be telling a different story. I've found that no matter what age I am, cracking a joke with a friend or family member makes me feel lighter and more energized. It's as if I'm transported back to the carefree days when we didn't have so many worries. Humor gives us the ability to feel joy in the present moment, and that vitality is incredibly attractive. One of the hallmarks of a great sense of humor is the ability to laugh at yourself. In our younger years, we may have been more self-conscious, trying to project an image of perfection or invulnerability. But as we get older, we realize that we don't need to hide our imperfections or take ourselves too seriously. Laughing at yourself shows confidence and authenticity. It's a way of saying, I don't mind being imperfect, and neither should you. I remember a time when I was visiting a friend's house, and I tripped over a rug and almost fell. Instead of feeling embarrassed, I immediately joked, well, that was a graceful entrance. My friend laughed, and the tension in the room instantly disappeared. That's the power of humor. It not only makes us more relatable, but it also helps others feel at ease. It shows that we can laugh at ourselves and that we're not burdened by the need to be perfect. One of the joys of aging is having the opportunity to connect with people of all ages. Humor is one of the best ways to bridge the generation gap. Whether you're telling stories about your childhood, making playful comments about technology, or sharing a classic joke, humor has a way of connecting us to younger generations. And when those younger people laugh, it's a sign that you've created a space for understanding and connection. I've had countless conversations with my grandchildren, where I find myself joking about the good old days or telling them stories about life before smartphones. What always amazes me is how much they laugh and engage with those stories. It's a great reminder that humor transcends age and helps us relate to one another, no matter how different our experiences may be. Finally, having a great sense of humor makes life more enjoyable. It lightens the mood in tough situations and makes the good moments even better. As we age, it's easy to get bogged down by all the challenges life throws our way. But humor allows us to find joy even in the mundane. It helps us look at life's imperfections with a sense of amusement instead of frustration. For instance, I was once frustrated by a long wait at a doctor's office, but then I noticed an elderly man sitting next to me who was also visibly annoyed. I turned to him and said, "Looks like we're both getting our money's worth in waiting time today." He laughed, and the mood completely shifted. We started talking and laughing, and what was once an annoying situation became a shared experience. Humor can change the way we see the world, and that's something that never goes out of style. Having a great sense of humor is one of the most attractive qualities you can possess, especially as you age. It's a reflection of your ability to embrace life's ups and downs, laugh at yourself, and find joy in the little things. Humor connects us, keeps us young, and makes the world a brighter place for those around us. So keep laughing, keep sharing stories, and don't be afraid to find the humor in everyday moments. After all, nothing is more attractive than someone who knows how to make life a little lighter. Point 6. You still stay active. One of the most enduring and attractive qualities of an older man is the ability to stay active. We've all heard the saying, "You're only as old as you feel," and while that may sound a little cliché, it holds a lot of truth, especially when it comes to maintaining physical activity as we age. Staying active doesn't necessarily mean running marathons or lifting heavy weights at the gym. It's about keeping your body moving and engaging in activities that maintain your strength, flexibility, and overall health. Staying active after 70 is one of the best ways to look and feel great, and it shows that you haven't given up on yourself or your well-being. As we age, it's easy to slip into a more sedentary lifestyle. But the truth is, staying active is one of the best ways to keep your energy levels high and your body feeling young. Regular physical activity is linked to better cardiovascular health, improved joint function, and enhanced mobility. When you make a conscious effort to stay active, whether it's through light walking, swimming, or even stretching, you maintain the vibrancy that many people associate with youth. I've found that the more I move, the more I want to move. Simple activities like taking a brisk walk around the block or gardening have kept me feeling energized and engaged. It's not about trying to look younger. It's about feeling younger and embracing the fact that I can still enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like walking on the beach, going on a hike, or dancing at a family celebration. It's not just the body that benefits from staying active, our minds do too. Regular exercise has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress, which can often become more prevalent as we age. It also helps improve memory, cognitive function, and overall brain health, which are essential as we get older. Keeping your mind sharp is just as important as keeping your body fit, and staying physically active is one of the most effective ways to do so. For example, I've noticed that when I'm consistent with my morning walk, I feel mentally clearer and more focused throughout the day. If I skip it, I notice I'm a little more sluggish mentally and have a harder time focusing. Physical activity releases endorphins, which improve mood and help create a sense of accomplishment. Whether it's a brisk walk or a yoga session, staying active gives both my mind and body the energy they need to thrive. One of the biggest challenges we face as we age is the loss of flexibility and mobility. It's easy to let stiffness and aches prevent us from doing the things we enjoy. However, staying active with simple exercises like stretching, yoga, or gentle strength training can help maintain and even improve flexibility. This not only prevents injury but also allows us to stay independent and mobile, which is crucial for living a fulfilling life. I've been practicing stretching and yoga for years, and the benefits are evident. I can still bend down without pain, reach for something on the top shelf, and move with ease, which I know many people my age struggle with. Staying active keeps the joints lubricated, the muscles strong, and the body limber, and these are things we often take for granted, until they start to fade. Staying active doesn't require a complex routine. The key is consistency. It's about making physical activity a regular part of your routine, even if it's just 20 minutes a day. This could mean taking a walk every morning, doing light stretching while watching your favorite TV show, or gardening in the afternoons. The goal is not intensity, but regularity. I've made a habit of doing a light stretch every morning while I drink my coffee, and it's amazing how much more limber I feel as I go about my day. This consistent routine keeps me feeling strong and energized, without the need for drastic measures. It's about making small, sustainable changes that benefit your body long term. When we stay active, we not only feel better, but we also look better. Physical activity helps maintain muscle tone and keeps the body strong. But it also boosts self-confidence. When we feel like we're taking care of our bodies, we naturally feel more confident in how we look and how we interact with others. For me, staying active is a huge boost to my confidence. Whether I'm out for a walk, attending a family gathering, or even just sitting with friends, I know I'm presenting my best self, someone who is healthy, strong, and capable. This sense of self-assurance doesn't just make me feel better about my body. It enhances every aspect of my life, from social interactions to personal satisfaction. Staying active doesn't have to be a solitary activity. In fact, many of the most rewarding forms of exercise can be social. Joining a local walking group, playing in a senior tennis league, or even doing water aerobics at the community pool gives you the added benefit of social interaction. These activities provide an opportunity to meet new people, strengthen friendships, and maintain connections, which is vital for emotional well-being as we age. I've joined a weekly group walk at the park, and it's one of the best decisions I've made. Not only do I get to stay active, but I also get to chat with old friends and meet new ones. These social bonds are just as important as physical health. Staying connected with others improves mood, reduces loneliness, and keeps life interesting and fulfilling. Staying active has a profound impact on mental and emotional health. As we age, we can sometimes find ourselves feeling a little more disconnected or isolated. Regular activity provides structure, gives us goals to strive for, and helps us stay engaged with life. Whether it's a morning walk to get the day started or an evening yoga session to wind down, staying active becomes a tool for emotional well-being. Personally, I find that when I skip my regular exercise routine, I feel a little more down or restless. But when I'm active, I feel positive, productive, and ready to take on the day. The mental benefits of staying active, clarity, a sense of accomplishment, and emotional stability, are just as important as the physical ones. Staying active as an older man is one of the best ways to ensure you live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. It improves your physical health, boosts your mental clarity, enhances your confidence, and allows you to stay engaged in the world around you. It's not about being in perfect shape or trying to keep up with younger generations. It's about making the most of your body and your health at this stage in life. The more active you are, the more vibrant you feel, and that vitality is what makes you so attractive to others. So don't slow down, keep moving, keep exploring, and keep living fully. Your body and your heart will thank you for it. If you're still keeping active, drop a 3 in the comments and let me know what keeps you going. Point 7. You're comfortable with silence. As we age, one of the most powerful and often overlooked traits that develop is the ability to be comfortable with silence. The younger versions of ourselves often felt the pressure to fill every pause in a conversation, whether it was out of insecurity, the desire to appear interesting, or the fear of awkwardness. But as we grow older, we come to understand the value of quiet moments. Silence isn't something to be filled with words, it's something to be embraced. When you're comfortable with silence, it reflects a calm self-assurance, and it's an incredibly attractive quality that only grows more appealing with time. In a world that often values constant activity and chatter, the ability to sit in silence is a profound sign of confidence. When you're comfortable in the quiet moments, you're showing others that you don't need to constantly be speaking to have value or presence. It shows that you're at ease with yourself and your surroundings, which is incredibly reassuring to those around you. I remember when I was younger, I used to feel uncomfortable during lulls in conversations. I'd scramble to fill the silence, often overcompensating with words or stories. But over time, I've realized that silence doesn't have to be awkward. It's an opportunity for reflection, connection, and even deeper understanding. In fact, the best conversations I've had in my later years have often been those where we simply sat together, comfortable in the shared quiet, enjoying each other's company without the need for constant chatter. When you're not rushing to fill every moment with words, you create space for deeper, more meaningful connections. Silence allows us to listen more attentively and absorb what others are saying. It invites them to open up, knowing that you are present and truly listening. As we age, we tend to value quality over quantity in our relationships, and silence plays a big part in that. I've found that when I sit in silence with someone, whether it's my children, grandchildren, or friends, we communicate in a way that goes beyond words. There's a certain comfort in simply being with someone, not needing to talk or entertain, but just sharing the space together. This is especially true with the people who matter most. Sometimes, just sitting in silence with a loved one can say more than 100 words ever could. Another beautiful thing about growing older is the ability to be more present, and silence is a great tool for achieving that. As we age, we realize how fleeting life is, and we come to appreciate the moments of stillness in a way that we didn't when we were younger. Silence allows us to connect more deeply with ourselves and the present moment. Whether it's taking in the beauty of nature, reflecting on a life well lived, or simply appreciating the present moment with no distractions, being comfortable in silence brings us peace. I've recently started taking short walks early in the morning, before the world wakes up. The silence of the morning, the stillness of nature, and the quietness of the streets help me ground myself. There's no rush, no noise, just the peacefulness of the present. That's when I feel most connected to the world around me, and to myself. It's one of the greatest gifts aging gives you, the ability to embrace the present, fully and without distraction. A comfortable silence also invites reflection. As we grow older, we've lived through enough life experiences to have gained perspective, and sometimes, the most profound insights come in quiet moments of contemplation. Being able to sit in silence allows us to reflect on the lessons we've learned, the mistakes we've made, and the wisdom we've gained along the way. It's in these silent moments that we are able to grow emotionally and mentally, understanding ourselves and the world around us on a deeper level. For example, I've noticed that after a long day, I often take a few moments of silence before heading to bed. I reflect on the day, what went well, what I could have done better, and what I'm grateful for. It's in those quiet moments that I find a sense of peace and understanding, and often, I come to conclusions or insights I wouldn't have reached if I'd been distracted by noise or busyness. In relationships, silence can be just as powerful as words. When you're comfortable in silence, you're able to truly be present with another person without feeling the need to fill the space with small talk or forced conversation. It shows that you're content and at ease in each other's company. This is particularly important as we grow older. Relationships become more meaningful when they're based on genuine connection, not the obligation to constantly entertain or engage in shallow conversation. My wife and I have been married for over 40 years, and one of the things I cherish the most is the comfort we found in silence. We don't need to talk all the time to know what the other is thinking or feeling. Whether we're sitting together in the living room or sharing a quiet meal, there's a deep, unspoken connection between us. That silent bond speaks volumes about the strength of our relationship. As we age, we often face emotional and physical challenges that can weigh heavily on our hearts and minds. Silence offers us a chance to process our feelings and heal. It gives us space to mourn, to reflect on life's trials, and to make sense of our experiences. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful medicine. It allows us to sit with our emotions without being overwhelmed by them, giving us the time to heal and find peace within ourselves. I remember a time when I lost a close friend, and for days, I couldn't find the right words to express my grief. But in the silence of my own thoughts, I was able to process the loss, reflect on our memories together, and eventually find a sense of closure. Silence became a tool for healing during a difficult time, helping me come to terms with loss and ultimately find peace. Being comfortable with silence is a hallmark of the wisdom that comes with age. It's a sign of emotional maturity and self-assurance. It reflects a deep understanding that not every moment needs to be filled with noise, and that some of the most meaningful connections and reflections happen in the quiet. Whether you're sitting in stillness with a loved one, enjoying a peaceful moment alone, or simply letting your mind rest, silence offers us the opportunity to connect with ourselves and others in ways words never can. And that quiet confidence, that ease with being in the moment, makes you undeniably attractive, not just in appearance, but in spirit. Embrace the silence, because in it, you'll find wisdom, peace, and a presence that others will find magnetic. Point 8. You know what's truly important. As we grow older, one of the most profound changes we experience is the ability to see life from a different perspective. We begin to understand what truly matters and what doesn't. By the time we reach our 70s and beyond, we've learned that time is precious, relationships are invaluable, and material things are fleeting. In this stage of life, the things that once seemed important, like impressing others or accumulating wealth, often fade into the background. What remains are the deeper values: love, connection, health, and contentment. This clarity of focus, this ability to prioritize what truly matters, is an incredibly attractive quality, not just because it's rare, but because it radiates peace and confidence. When we were younger, it was easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. We spent years building careers, raising families, and striving to meet external expectations. There was always something else to achieve, something else to prove. But as we age, we start to realize that the things we once thought were important, such as material success, outward appearance, or societal approval, don't bring lasting happiness. Instead, we find that true fulfillment comes from focusing on what really matters: the people we love, the relationships we nurture, the simple pleasures of life, and our overall well-being. I remember in my younger years how focused I was on climbing the corporate ladder. It was always about the next promotion, the next achievement. But as I got older, I started to realize that the hours spent away from my family and friends, chasing external markers of success, weren't bringing me the joy I thought they would. Today, I value the time I get to spend with my children, my grandchildren, and my friends. That shift in focus has brought me so much more peace and satisfaction than any title or paycheck ever did. One of the most significant realizations that come with age is the importance of relationships. The connections we form with others, whether they are family, friends, or romantic partners, are what give our lives meaning. We start to recognize that relationships are the cornerstone of a fulfilling life. In our golden years, we understand that it's not the things we accumulate that matter. It's the people we share our time with and the love we give and receive. I've spent many years building relationships with my family and friends, and as I've gotten older, these connections have become even more central to my life. The value of sitting down for a meal with loved ones, telling stories, and simply enjoying each other's company is something I hold dear. The friendships I've made over the years are the treasures I now cherish most. It's not about what you have. It's about who you have by your side through life's journey. When we're younger, there's often a desire to impress others or to prove something, whether it's our worth, our capabilities, or our success. But as we age, we start to realize that the need for external validation fades into the background. We stop caring so much about how others perceive us, and instead, we focus on how we feel about ourselves. This shift is incredibly freeing. I used to worry about keeping up with the latest trends or making sure I was always dressed to impress. But now, I embrace my own style and comfort, rather than worrying about what others think. I've learned that the most important opinion is my own, and when I stopped seeking validation from others, I found a deeper sense of peace. This freedom allows me to live authentically, without the weight of societal expectations. As we age, maintaining good health becomes more important than ever. We've learned that good health is the foundation upon which everything else in life depends. When we're younger, it's easy to take our health for granted, but as we get older, we realize that without it, everything else falls away. Prioritizing health means taking care of both your body and mind, whether it's through regular exercise, eating well, getting enough sleep, or seeking medical care when necessary. I've made it a point to stay active and take care of my health, not just for myself, but for my loved ones. The better I take care of my body, the more I can enjoy life and share those moments with the people who matter most. Good health has allowed me to continue doing the things I love, from gardening to walking to spending time with my grandchildren. It's a daily reminder that our physical well-being is one of the greatest gifts we have. As we age, we often find that the simple pleasures of life, those things we once overlooked, become the most fulfilling. Whether it's enjoying a quiet cup of coffee in the morning, savoring the beauty of a sunset, or reading a good book, these simple moments bring immense joy. We begin to appreciate life for what it is, not for what we can achieve or accumulate. One of my favorite things is taking a walk in the park with my dog. It's not a grand adventure, but the peace I feel walking in nature, listening to the birds, and feeling the breeze on my face is a simple pleasure I treasure every day. I've learned to slow down and appreciate the little things, because it's in those small, everyday moments that true contentment lies. Another crucial aspect of knowing what's truly important is coming to peace with the past. We all have regrets or moments we wish we could change, but as we grow older, we realize that dwelling on the past only takes away from the present. We learn to forgive ourselves, let go of grudges, and move forward with a sense of acceptance and peace. I've found that letting go of past regrets has brought me a sense of freedom I never expected. I've had my share of mistakes, but I've learned to see them as part of my journey. Rather than getting stuck in what I could have done differently, I've focused on living with gratitude for everything I've learned. This shift in perspective has made all the difference in my happiness and overall well-being. Knowing what's truly important is a gift that comes with age. We learn to focus on what brings us joy and fulfillment, and let go of the things that no longer serve us. The people we love, our health, our passions, and the moments of peace and happiness we create become our greatest treasures. The wisdom to recognize and appreciate these things is what makes you not just a good-looking older man, but an incredibly attractive one. When you know what matters and live with intention, it radiates from you, making you magnetic to those around you. Embrace this newfound clarity. And remember that the most important things in life are already within your reach. Looking good isn't just about how we appear on the outside, it's about how we carry ourselves, how we engage with others, and how we embrace the wisdom that comes with age. As we've explored today, being a good-looking older man isn't about chasing youth or trying to meet someone else's standards. It's about owning the person you've become and understanding that the qualities you've developed over the years, confidence, kindness, a great sense of humor, and the ability to stay active and present, are what truly make you attractive. You've gained a strength and presence that younger men often lack, and that's something that only improves with time. You've learned to be comfortable with who you are, you know what really matters, and you've cultivated relationships based on deep connection rather than superficiality. The ability to laugh, to be a great listener, and to offer a kind word when needed are all part of the package that makes you uniquely captivating. So, if you ever doubt your own attractiveness, just remember that age has given you something incredibly valuable, a lifetime of experiences, wisdom, and the confidence to embrace who you are. You may not always see it, but those around you do, and they're drawn to it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, share your thoughts, And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to bringing you more content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.